What's going on, guys? Aero here, and guys, if you're watching this video the day it's out, then I want to wish you guys a happy Halloween, as today is Halloween. So hopefully you guys are having an awesome Halloween, and if you're going trick-or-treating, I hope you guys get a lot of candy. But if you're not watching this video on Halloween, then I just hope that you guys are having an awesome day. But for the spirit of Halloween and just how October is all about spooky stuff, I figured today would be an awesome time to talk to you guys about the top 10 scariest / creepy things inside of Nintendo games. So after spending a lot of time researching about all of the scary and creepy things inside of Nintendo games, I finally managed to put together a list of the top 10 things that I found the most scary and creepy inside of Nintendo games. So hopefully you guys are ready, and let's get started. Starting off this list at number 10 is the Pokemon Ghost Girl. Now if you guys play a lot of Pokemon games, then I'm sure one thing that you know about is that there's actually a mysterious and creepy ghost girl that appears in many Pokemon games. Now there's actually not that many Pokemon games where you have a direct interaction with the Pokemon Ghost Girl. I think the one that I can think of right now is in X and Y, as if you play through Pokemon X and Y, there's actually one spot where if you go into, there's like a little cutscene with the Pokemon Ghost Girl. She kind of like floats by you and there's like a direct interaction with her, but many times in other Pokemon games, the Ghost Girl is kind of just hidden throughout the game, and if you guys are able to catch it, then it's kind of creepy. I think the one example that I can think of is in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where if you enter one of the Elite Four members' rooms, I think her name is Phoebe, she's like a ghost type Elite Four member, then there's actually a Ghost Girl who's sitting in one of her chairs in like the room with the Elite Four member, but it's not really clear for you to see that right away, and if you're able to catch it, it's pretty interesting, so I'll put that on screen for you guys if you guys don't know about it. But yeah, it's really creepy if you can actually manage to see this Ghost Girl, and it's definitely one thing that I find really creepy about the Pokemon games. Coming in at number 9 is the gyroid face in Animal Crossing on the Nintendo GameCube. Now if you've played Animal Crossing on the Nintendo GameCube, then I'm sure some of you guys may already know about this, but if you turned off your GameCube while visiting someone else's town, then the next time you booted up your game, your villager's face would be replaced by a gyroid. Now this was pretty creepy, and many people thought that this was a glitch or some type of bug with the game, but after interviewing some developers from Nintendo, the reason that they did this was to remind players to use the gyroid to save the game next time. And I know this was pretty creepy, and a lot of people thought that this was pretty weird when they saw it for the first time. I know I saw this and I was like confused as well. I was like, how come my villager's face is gone? Why is it replaced by this? But yeah, it is something creepy, and I think that that was a pretty interesting way to remind players to use it to save the game. Now if I managed to give you a small jump scare from the clip that you just saw, then I do want to apologize, but coming in at number 8 is going to be the Blizzetta boss from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Now even if you guys haven't played this game before, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably got a small jump scare from seeing that clip that you just saw in the beginning, and that's pretty true. I mean, I saw that this game was released again on the Wii U in HD, so I was watching some people do some walkthroughs of it, and when I saw this clip for the first time, when like the boss turned around and did this like pretty creepy face with the loud noise, I got pretty scared as well, and it's definitely something that I found pretty scary inside of a Legend of Zelda game. Coming in at number 7, we have the creepy TV inside of Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town. Now in this game, if you tried to watch TV at exactly 4:44 PM, then you would get a glitchy dialog box that would keep popping up on your Game Boy screen, forcing you to turn off your Game Boy. Now the reason that this happens is because in the Japanese version of this game, if you tried to watch TV at exactly 4:44 PM, the dialog box would keep saying the number 4 along with the word death, and that's because in Japan, the number 444 is equivalent to our version of 666, and so that's why this happens, and it's definitely something that's creepy inside of this game. Alright, so coming in at number 6 is the creepy piano from Super Mario 64. Now if you've ever played Super Mario 64, then one thing that you quickly learn to do is collect red coins whenever you see them. And so when I played this game for the first time and entered this room with this piano, I saw a red coin right by the piano and I wanted to try to go and get it as fast as I could. To my surprise, as soon as I went to go get that red coin, this piano suddenly came to life and started chomping away at me and reducing my health in seconds. I was so scared when I saw this piano come to life as a kid. I definitely wanted to throw away my controller and just run out the door because it was so scary. I didn't expect that to happen, and it's still pretty creepy if you ever play this Mario game for the first time. It's just something you don't expect, and it's still something I find really scary. Coming in at number 5 is the boss from Kirby's Dreamland 3. Now if you've ever played through a Kirby game before, then one thing that you can quickly understand is that Kirby is a really cute franchise. Kirby is cute, the enemies are cute, the characters are cute, and so Kirby is just a really cute and cuddly franchise. But if you've played through Kirby's Dreamland 3, then you're gonna see that one of the bosses is actually really creepy because it's an eyeball that attacks Kirby by shooting blood. And so I think it was just really weird seeing how there was an eyeball inside of this Kirby game that was attacking Kirby by shooting blood, which just made no sense inside of this cute and cuddly franchise. Coming in at number 4 are the scary sounds inside of Splatoon. Now in Splatoon, if you play through the single player mode and if you get to a boss fight, after you're done beating the boss, if you still linger around in the room where the boss was, after a little bit you're actually going to start to hear really creepy and scary noises. Now many people seem to think that these are like the sounds of the Octarian suffering, or maybe some just creepy things that are going around, and it's really creepy. Take a listen for yourself. So yeah, there's definitely some scary sounds that are inside of Splatoon, and something that's even more interesting is that you guys can hear similar sounds after you're done beating a boss, even inside of Splatoon 2, so it's pretty interesting how you can hear some of these sounds even in a game that just came out a few months ago, as it's not like a bug or something that's inside of the game because it's still present inside of Splatoon 2, and some people actually got to have an interview with Mr. Tsubasa Sakaguchi, who's like one of the key developers behind Splatoon, and they asked him are you aware of these creepy sounds that are inside of Splatoon after you're done beating a boss, and I'll put up his response for you guys on screen, but from the looks of it, he was talking about how he's gonna have to go and check that out for himself, and even he was surprised in how it didn't come up in any interviews he's had before, and it's just really interesting how he was the person who was behind that, and even he didn't know. So yeah, it's just something that's really creepy inside of Splatoon, and also Splatoon 2. Alright, so for number 3, we have some creepy characters inside of the Mario games. Now if you've played through Super Mario Galaxy 2, in one of the levels there's actually 3 ghostly figures that are staring at you from above the level, and they don't really have any purpose in the game, and you don't really see them until that level, so it's really creepy how they're just staring at you and there's really no purpose. And after some people looked through the game's code and saw what these characters were named as, it's pretty creepy because they're named as Hell Valley Sky Tree. So even the name itself is really creepy, and there's actually something similar to this that appears in a more recent Mario game, being Super Mario 3D Land, which came out on the Nintendo 3DS a few years ago, and if you go to the level 4-4, and after you get to the flag, if you still stay there for a few more seconds, you're actually going to see a ghostly figure that appears on the side of your screen that looks pretty similar to the Hell Valley Sky Trees from Super Mario Galaxy 2, so it's pretty interesting how these characters are inside of these Mario games. There's no purpose that they have, they're just these weird ghostly figures that are kind of creepy and pretty scary inside of these games. Coming in at number 2, we have Buried Alive. Now back in the beta stages of Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, there was a supposed final boss that was going to be on top of the Pokemon Tower inside of Lavender Town, and this boss was going to be called Buried Alive. Now you guys can see right here from the sprite that it's pretty creepy itself because it's like a dead corpse that's coming out of a grave, so it's really creepy thinking that this was going to be inside of the Pokemon games, and I know some people managed to hack this character into their games because I think there's still code for this character and this final boss inside of the games for Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue, but I know it doesn't fully work because it still causes the game to crash as it's kind of unfinished. But I'll have a video because someone did manage to get this into their games, so I'll have that video playing. But what's really scary is that if you actually lost to this character, the buried alive corpse would come and say, raw meat, and then it will cut to a picture of the buried alive corpse eating the main character from your Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue game. So this was really creepy, and to think that this was going to be inside of Pokemon Red and Blue, it was just really astonishing to me to think that this was going to be a part of the games. It's just something really creepy, and I would have never imagined Pokemon to put something like this inside of their games. And finally, coming in at number 1 is the Game Boy camera. Now, out of this entire list that I have, I think this is the thing that I found the most scary, but it's pretty interesting because this is actually something that's not from a Nintendo game, but rather from an accessory itself. And I didn't know that this accessory even existed, but basically there was an accessory called the Game Boy camera, which would allow you to take pictures with your Game Boy, and you could use them with another accessory called the Game Boy printer, and you would be able to print out these images. But what's really scary is that inside of the program for Game Boy camera, there was actually an option for you to run, and I think this option meant like if you wanted to back out of the program. But what was so scary about this was that if you press the run button, sometimes you would get these really creepy vandalized faces that would pop up on your screen saying, who are you trying to run from? And these are definitely inside of the program itself. It's not like some of these characters or like these images were made up. It's just something that I found really creepy and scary, and I have no idea why they're even inside of this program. So this is by far the scariest thing that I've seen inside of a Nintendo accessory / Nintendo program, and yeah, I just have no clue why these images even exist. So there you go guys, those are the top 10 scariest / creepy things inside of Nintendo games. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to click that like button, and also comment down below if you guys have any other things that you think are scary and creepy inside of Nintendo games. Definitely be sure to comment them down below. I'm always curious to see what you guys have to say. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Nintendo content in the future, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero if you ever want to tweet me something or ask me something. I'm usually able to reply to everyone on Twitter, so definitely go and follow me there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.